If you owned an N64 in the late 90s, there's a pretty good chance that you played or at least heard of Turok Dinosaur Hunter. This game was a big deal when it came out. It was full of guns, violence, dinosaurs. You played as a badass warrior. It came out in a time when first-person shooters were not that common, especially on console. I think Turok was actually the first first-person shooter game I ever played. And at that time in 1997, I probably didn't even know what a first-person shooter was. It was an entirely new concept to me. I have a lot of fond memories of playing Turok, but the bulk of those memories are limited to flashes of gameplay rather than a broad understanding of the story and the later levels. In fact, I don't remember getting that far into this game. My guess was that the difficulty curve was just too much for me at that age. But now, all these years later, 2019, Turok is out again, and it's another big deal, sort of. This marks the first N64 game to come out on Switch.
So I probably haven't played Turok in, I don't know, maybe 15 years? Oh my god, the iguana logo. It's so good. Yeah, he had the translucent, like, horn eyebrow things. That was a big deal. Translucent graphics. That was a big deal in this game and at the time, for sure.
Now, this is a remastered port that came out in 2015 by Night Dive Studios. They released this as well as Turok 2 for PC and Xbox One. The core of the game remains the same, it's just an updated version of it. Turok was originally developed by Iguana Entertainment, and it was published by Acclaim. Both of those entities are no longer around, they both went under a long time ago, but Turok was actually the game that put Iguana on the map and salvaged Acclaim from going into complete redundancy. And Iguana made some serious classics on the N64, NBA Jam, South Park, the Turok series, and Iggy's Wreckin' Balls. Iguana continued to make games into the GameCube era, at this point being absorbed into Acclaim and becoming Acclaim Austin. But as you know, Acclaim eventually shuttered its doors after going through a bankruptcy.
So it's got like gyroscopic control. So I assume when you're in portable, it's probably more effective there than just using the Joy-Cons. I don't have a Pro controller or anything, so I just got the Joy controller. Mostly used to disguise the bad draw distance in this game, in the original game. But there used to be fog, like, way more prevalent in this. And not just up in the sky. I think because this is like the Night Dive remaster that it's not as noticeable. How many shots is it going to take? 3? Was that 2 or 3? And there's the blood. I wonder if this is if they have remastered blood effects. Yes, run at me with a knife. Wow, they run fast. This game is fast, actually. Like, I think I remember the original being fast as well, but look at this guy. Oh, shit. See if we can get one of the special kill effects. I think I need to shoot him in the head. Well, that was a one-shot kill there. It's not as... the kill effects aren't as gory as they were in Turok 2, but you can get some pretty gnarly death animations. Let's see if we can get one here. No. There's no real aiming in this game. You kind of just shoot in the general direction of the hitbox and hope that you're going to hit him. But the aim tracking is pretty forgiving. Like, I can shoot near the enemy and the bullets seem to gravitate towards them.
Turok was the first third-party game to make it to the N64, and it was really known for pushing the console to its graphical limits. They even had to compress certain aspects like the music in order to make sure that the game would fit on the N64 cartridge. It's also an incredibly violent and gory game, and if you have a reviewer named Scary Larry cautioning children from playing it, then the game must be on another level. And of course, by today's standards, the violence is minimal, but for this game to be on a Nintendo console in the late 90s and be this violent, well, you know, it definitely pushed some buttons.
This game feels like it would be like a speedrunner's dream, considering the motion of it, and I think that maybe that's part due to the way the gyroscopic controls are handling, but it is very smooth. And the game is running great, considering, I mean, there's not much graphical output it needs, but it has that feeling of just fluid motion. Almost like you're just gliding along. Like, I can't imagine my character's actually using his legs right now. It feels like I'm just sliding, like, on ice or something. Oh, baby, that's the shotgun. If I remember, this gun is a joy to use. And probably the best gun, at least early on. And that's the thing is, like, I never got really far in these games. I am interested to see what the later levels are actually like. Hello, dinosaur friend. Oh, you're not my friend. None of the dinos are my friend. They all want to bite me in the leg or head or neck. Oh, this part was my nightmare when I was a kid. I struggled a lot with platforming at an early age, and that particular jump from that step to that step sucks, and I sucked at doing it. And I remember many times ending up down there. I think there is something worth going down there for, but let's see if we can do this jump first try. That one's easy. This is the tricky one. You kind of have to aim at an angle. Let's see. Huh! First try. See? 28 years old, and I've mastered the art of platforming. So there is something down there. It's probably like a health thing. I'm just going to skip it for now. Oh, the tech arrow is super important because I remember this bad boy here. First, like, mini boss, sort of. Takes 3 shots, so not much of a boss. Yikes, look at that mouth. Looks like a Venus flytrap. What even is he? Is he a dinosaur? It's like a dinosaur-human hybrid. I'm interested to learn the lore of this game as well, because that's something I never figured out. Because clearly you are in a place of both dinosaurs and advanced technology. I don't think this is Earth, or maybe it is an alternate version of Earth or something. But Turok is actually based off a comic book, and that came out a few years before it, in the earlier 90s. This game came out in March 1997, and the comic book was out in like 93 or something. So I'm sure if I read that, I can figure out what the hell's going on, but I don't have the faintest. Whoa! Into the lava. Lava is nothing to Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Okay, I need to figure this out, though. Oh, there we go. There's the neck spray. He was spraying from his neck. I think that's the most violent one I've seen so far. There's no dismemberment, but yeah, Turok 2 really stepped it up. And there's rumor that might come out on Switch as well. And Turok 2 had guns that would shoot out like dismemberment chains or whirling, I don't even know, but they would essentially take off limb by limb from enemies. Just go arm, leg, and then head. Whoa, okay, here we go. Tech arrow. Eat my technology. What is this thing? Oh, this must be a power-up. Spiritual invincibility. Alright, we better take advantage of that and find some enemies, right? Of course, they're all dead already. Oh, there's another one. At first I couldn't tell what was happening, if the game was just glitching out or... Whoa! Is he dead or what? I'm wasting all my my explosive bullets, but it's worth it. That was so weird.
Turok was an incredible smash hit, and the sequels didn't do as well as the first game, but they kept trying. I mean, they made like 6 of these games. As for the gameplay itself, it's standard first-person shooter affair. You're running, you're jumping, you're shooting, you're killing. You know the deal. Throughout each level, you collect these keys, which help you unlock later levels. Very common aspect in earlier platformer shooter games. If you were going to have a N64 classic, I feel like Turok would definitely be included in that. It's a kind of a hallmark for this console. Up there with your GoldenEyes, your Super Mario 64s. I feel like it's just synonymous with that era. So what does this mean for N64 games on the Switch going forward? Are we going to see more of them? Well, given that Turok has exchanged hands multiple times and that this is the Night Dive port, it's a long ways away from the original game and that connection with Nintendo. So while this game was a big deal on the Nintendo 64, and it's a game that a lot of people remember for that console, there is a disassociation between that Turok and this current iteration of Turok. So this doesn't really feel like it's an N64 game on Switch, it just feels like Turok Dinosaur Hunter on Switch. Now, as everyone knows, Nintendo has been very quiet about any potential for a virtual console in the future. Through Nintendo Online, we get a few NES games every now and then, but there's still been no news or announcements on if they'll ever have Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, Nintendo DS, any of that stuff come to the Switch eShop. So we just have to wait and see and hope that more third-party games can make it to the Switch from that era.
There's something about these games that are just infinitely satisfying, and you get the same feeling when you play something like GoldenEye or any of the other first-person shooters, which there weren't many on the N64. It's so nostalgic, you know, especially for those who primarily had Nintendo consoles. You know, our exposure to FPSs wasn't much, and so when we had them, we played the hell out of them. You know, I didn't start getting into like other consoles until probably the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. So we do have a map in this game, which I think is definitely an add-on. It might have been in the original game, but I don't remember ever using it, and it just feels like something that would be like an add-on for those that get confused, because these levels can be windy, as you can see, and confusing. But I believe there's a simple exit somewhere over here. Secret area! Now that is a common thing found in these old FPSs. This assault rifle is insanely effective. At least early on now. It's doing wonders for me. Can we get up there? No. Oh yeah, okay, so this is the level select area. So we'll see level 3, Ancient City. That's level... Oh, this is level 2. Level 2, the jungle. I guess we should start with the jungle, right? The face only a mother could... What is with the nipples? What? What's going on there? Got like Triceratops nipples. His body's all kind of fucked up, actually, now I'm looking at it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow! Yo, what the... Where am I? I'm all the way back... Oh, I'm at the last checkpoint? That's crazy. This is like way back in the first level. Or the second level, I guess. Whoa, that's wild. How did I not get a checkpoint since here? That doesn't seem right.
So Turok is $20 on the eShop right now. I think that price is a little steep. Maybe knock it down by $5 or even $10. I feel like that would be more fair. But for nostalgia's sake, pay the $20, walk down memory lane, and shred some dinosaurs along the way.